Hey everybody, GL1 here, and I have another show on mechs. And as I had said in episode 161, I have a lot more mechs to show you, and even after this show, I have quite a few more mechs to show you as well. So just wanted to tell you real quick, there's some gross stuff on my fingernails on my right hand, and that is insulation foam, which in desperation to try to fix something, I picked up with my hand without a glove, which I know I shouldn't do, and it takes like a week to come off, and it's just really annoying. So anyway, sorry about that. Anyhow, I got this mech for $5, so it was quite a bit marked down. And as I started playing with this, it gave me some insights on the larger one. But let me show you this little thing I got for $5, and I know that that's marked down. But what it has quite a bit of articulation. So it has the elbow articulation that I thought the larger one did not have. So you have wrist, elbow, and even shoulder articulation. Now this does not have the joint where the shoulders can slide forward. Comes with a gun and has rotational hips and even knees and no, not the ankles, but it will stand. And it opens up. You have a little guy inside, and he has some articulation. He can twist at the waist, and his arms will swivel a little bit. And it comes with a knife, and he can hold that. And I didn't want to lose it, so I throw it inside. And it comes with an extra hand. So if he wants to smack some Navi silly, I guess he can do that. So that all fits in there. But when I started playing with this, and I saw that it has that elbow articulation in a way that I didn't think the larger one had, I'd said, well, gosh, I can't believe that they would give it to this one and not the larger one. It's just that the larger one was really stiff. So what you have to do is, if you're afraid of breaking it, like I said before, boil the joint, get some boiling water, boil it, and then try to start moving it, and then it will turn, and it does. So that's really helpful because now you can really put them into more realistic situations, positions, because I thought that didn't move and it was stuck. But now he can hold the gun in a much better position. And the figure that I put inside, the first time I put this woman here from the toy set, The Core. And, she comes with a little gun. And The Core is like kind of a copy of G.I. Joe toys, but at a much lower cost. And they're actually quite well articulated and detailed for really inexpensive figures. Like you can get sometimes, like she came in a 2-pack for something like $3. So, quite a bit of detail, and you even have a removable gun from her holster. And you have the full articulation of the shoulders and hips, and, her head turns, and you can sometimes stick an accessory on there. So anyway, that was a figure that I put and fit inside before. But then when I opened this and I saw this guy, it gave me an idea. I think I have a guy that's like that. That's the right size, and I do. So I put this guy in there. Does he look familiar? I would guess not. But what he came with is the Abomination from the 2008 Hulk movie. So this guy came with that set. And he's like a G.I. Joe figure, but without the metal joints or screws. And so he fits in there really well. And he came with this machine gun. So I used those plastic bungees that come in this little package here. I got the package to show you, because you can order this on Amazon. Mrs. GL1 ordered this for me because she knew that such a thing existed. And she ordered me this package, and it comes with a whole bunch of them. I use it for a lot of action figures. The Princess Rubber Band. And I know it's a princess rubber band, but it's really cool because they're clear and they come with three different sizes. They're really strong. They'll stretch a lot and they'll go back to their tight shape each time. They don't wear out and they'll last for years, actually. So you can really hold things on and not lose, if you have gun accessories and things like that. So he came with Abomination from 2008, and let me show you that. This is the 2008 Abomination action figure. So he has, the torso swivel and shoulder articulation. It's got some elbows, wrists, and wrist turn in all directions. His head turns. Not really attractive, right? I think it's supposed to be this guy turns into him. So he gets gamma. He injects himself with super serum from Captain America, and he irradiates himself, or I think he injects himself with Hulk blood is what he does. And so he gets super serum plus Hulk blood, and then he fights the Hulk, and he is stronger than the Hulk, at least his baseline without the angry effect. At first he's stronger than the Hulk, and then the Hulk ends up defeating him, but he doesn't defeat him straight out like I think he should. And usually does. He chokes him out with a chain, and he needed a weapon, and I don't think the Hulk should need a weapon to take out anybody, really. So that's Abomination, and this is the Hulk from that movie. I have several, and if you watch any of my Hulk episodes, if you go back actually way back, there's an episode which is 2003 and 2006. It's Hulk Out is the key word, and I don't remember which episode that is, but it's like 100 episodes ago. And this is the size difference in Abomination and the Hulk. And this Hulk glows these veins glow in the dark, so you can charge them up and he'll glow. So just wanted to be complete on that explanation. And so these are from Avatar, and then those guys from Avatar also had at their disposal, they had this crab mech. So this came with this little setup here, and it comes right off. It kind of sticks little round, attachment there. And it has a propeller that you can spin with your fingers, or I guess you could blow in there. And it actually has the articulation in the knee. This also was on clearance for $5. But, for $5, I mean, look at all this articulation that you get. And you can turn the wrists. And it's got a nice soft plastic that makes it easy to put things in its hands and grasp, which is nice. Because nowadays the action figures, the plastic is so hard. Really what I end up doing is boiling the hand in water just to get the weapon in the hand. So that's annoying. It does not open that I've been able to find to take the action figure out, so I think he just is stuck in there. But does this fit your definition of a mech? I think it does. It's a guy inside a suit, and he controls it, and it's got arms and legs. So I figure, well, that's a mech. So these two, also part of that set is their flying ship. And this might be the ship, let's say an Avatar, that would maybe, it's not really to scale, but I suppose maybe it could open up and drop a mech off, or I don't know, no, probably not, right? Because it's too big. But anyway, this is their flying ship. And, it's a hover ship, a hover plane. So like a drone, it hovers, right? And then can fly forward and have some wings, and then has jets in the back. But this got me thinking. So I said, I've seen this setup before where you see mechs, flying plane, and I thought, G.I. Joe Sigma 6. So in 2005, G.I. Joe put out a set, Sigma 6, and I can't believe that I've had these things for somewhere around 18 years. But I probably waited, I know I waited until they were on clearance, so maybe it was a year or two before I got them. But still, it's a really long time that they've been sitting there. And let me show you what I have. So here is, I actually have more than this. I actually have a good size set of Sigma 6 figures, or vehicles and figures, and I didn't want to, I'll put them in a separate show. But anyway, so here's your flying right? Your helicopter. Okay, so again, it's kind of like a, the other one's a drone. Technology has moved on since 2005. But you have a helicopter, you push a button, that spins, right? And then you have all these different things here. You have all kinds of weapons. You have, probably like a 50 or 60 caliber machine gun here, and it turrets and spins, and then you have a minigun on that. And then, you have another couple of guns. And these all detach, so you can take them off and put them in different locations. And then it even has, so you have your two figures in there. It came with these two figures. And then you have a machine gun there. And I can't recall if that came with this set, but you can put it on there, take it off, and then you can put it in their hand. It's a hand weapon. So then this fella here, you can put that in his hand, or she can hold it. And she's the pilot, so maybe he'll jump out, and then, he has maybe some kind of jetpack, it looks like. Yeah, it does look like some kind of jetpack, right? So maybe he can just kind of like shoot on his way down. And all the Sigma 6 toys came with firing missiles. And it has 3 missiles for each firing mechanism and a separate button for each one, which is just great because, a lot of times they cheap out, or what they do is it's just all the 3 missiles are combined into one missile, and this one actually has a separate button underneath for each one to shoot. And it doesn't have to be underneath either. That's, again, you have all these options. You can take it off, and this raises and lowers, and it's actually got a spring in it. So it's a spring action, and you can put this on here on the side. You have to move that out of the way, but you can put that lower and put it on the side. You can put it on top. Yeah, that's all. And it also can stick to other Sigma 6 vehicles, so you can do that as well. And it has a retractable landing gear, so then those click like that, and so quite a bit, right? This is and those also have a peg there, so you can take these off and you can peg them down on there if you want. So I don't know, I put it in different positions. Too many choices, and so I can't decide which way I want to orient the guns on this. And they also can turret like that. They can turn as well. All right, so the flying vehicle, right? Just like Avatar, flying, hovering kind of vehicle. And here is a mech that came with the Sigma 6. All right, so this is the G.I. Joe mech. This is the good guy mech. And it's small, but it is really, really cool. And I will show you why, because that's why we're here. All right, so you have full ankle articulation. You have hip articulation, no knees. You have a guy in there that can come out, right? And then he has his own handles, and they have ball joint swivels there. So it can swivel around. Okay. And so there it is from the back. All right, so just when you thought this was kind of neat, this is what's really cool. All right, so this flips up, right? And then to fire it, it has a button on the bottom and a button on the top. And watch how this works. So you can hold it down and it fires both at the same time, but you still have 2 left, or, okay, well, sometimes what it'll do is you have to push it twice. It'll fire one and then fire the other. But this time it wanted to fire both at the same time, and that's okay because it took out the Avatar guy. So too bad for him. This also fires these missiles, but the firing mechanism is one of those where you turn it and it fires one at a time. And if you remember from episode 161, the giant G.I. Joe robot has the same, it fires, I think, 8 rounds, but it has the same, you rotate it and it fires. And that is, I'm trying to think the name of that thing. Armor bot, right? All right, so this isn't done being cool. So it comes with this, all right? So this has like these metal tabs on top, and what I assume is there was a flying vehicle that could pick this up and carry it. I don't have that, but this guy can go inside here and it can be dropped off. Now, it can't be dropped off when it has these weapons on, but that's not a problem because these come off, so you can change his weaponry, and he can hang on to his handles. And then you can reattach that. Actually, I should have done that first. Put the ball joint in. And then attach it. And then it stays connected. And then for the other side, the same thing. Whoops. All right. And, all right. It's not going to cooperate as easily. There we go. Clicks in. And there we go. All right. So this all, you know what I did? I put the same one on, didn't I? All right. Here we go. That's what I wanted to do. Put on your grabbing hand. All right. And this has a button so you can move his thumb so he can grab things. This one doesn't fire anything, so it just looks cool. But you have that articulation, which is neat. And so then this can go inside here for the drop off. And then you can attach these onto here. And then drop them off his entire weapons complement, right, depending on where he's going. So he's going to cause someone a lot of trouble. And who might that be? Well, Cobra, right? And of course, Cobra, the bad guys usually have the cooler weapons, but I'm not so sure in this case, because even though this is small, undeniably one of the coolest mechs. But here's the big Mantis Cobra mech. And if you'll notice, that name Mantis was used in Halo. So if you remember, the Halo mech is also a Mantis. And here we go. It's, I guess it kind of, they think it has the grasp of it looks like a praying mantis. Kind of doesn't, but I've done research on praying mantids, and this really isn't what they look like. But they do grab things. So, all right. So you got that arm like that. And then here inside here, you have Cobra. I'm going to keep hitting that. And there he is. Cobra inside, and he comes out, and he's got his handles here that he holds on to. I guess maybe those are brakes, huh? Just like on a bicycle. And not to be lonely, he can shoot 2 missiles here, and they each have a separate button for firing. But if he's feeling a little lonely, he can have his own little pet mech missile launcher with him. So, it can go around, right? And it rolls. It has wheels on the bottom. And this also has those magnetic tabs or metal tabs that I assume a magnet can pick this thing up and carry it somewhere. And I wish I had that. And I tried to look it up and find what it is, and I wasn't able to find anything for sure. But that is... Okay, so that's the G.I. Joe collection mechs. And then I thought, well, being that I'm doing odd mechs, let me show you a couple of other odd ones. These guys are not Exo Squad mechs, and I will be doing a show on Exo Squad mechs. I touched upon 4 Exo Squad mechs in episode 161, but there are several more definitely worth seeing. So these are some kind of knockoff mech, but they definitely emulate the Exo Squad concepts. And they're actually, I don't have an Exo Squad mech that is like these. So these are different, but they do have that charging unit, that power unit that comes out in the back here. And then you do have, a little bit of the articulation in the legs. And you have these like missile launchers here. And that's all Exo Squad type of compatibility. And then I put TJ Marsh, which is an Exo Squad character, and I have extra TJ Marshes because he came with several sets. I have him inside here, and he's a well-articulated figure, and has got his handles. But this one, so you can wind up this cord here, but you have a firing mechanism that fires like an anchor, right? Or if he's like climbing a mountain, so let's say it hooks on and then he can pull himself up, right? So, I guess this one doesn't fly. And then over here, again, we have that mechanism where you turn it and it fires each missile individually. Hopefully it releases the spring, but it didn't on that one. All right, but and the dusky colored one over here is all the same. Now the figure that came with the blue one, this is the figure that came with this. It's not an Exo Squad figure. The other one disintegrated. All the plastic joints and everything, I took it out one day and it just fell apart. And that is the problem with inferior plastics. They will disintegrate over time. And so I just leave him in there, because I don't want that to happen again. The Exo Squad plastic characters, I haven't had any trouble with that. So they're a higher quality plastic, at least the figures. I mean, the ship seems to be well intact, and I've probably had this somewhere around 20 years. All right, so we're getting towards the end, and I thought, I know I have another unusual mech, and here it is, the dollar store mech. You can go to the dollar store, and I think right now it's still available. You can get Sergeant Ruck of the Alpha Team. So now the dollar store is this is Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 store, right? $1.25. But 2021, you get Sergeant Ruck figure, and they planned ahead because this figure came in such a way that he was ready for attaching this, which it says it came out in 2021, but I didn't find it until early this year or late last year. And this is all the mech attachments that go on him. And so, for another $1, Sergeant Ruck can have a mech. So there he is in there, and all of these attach on. So you have your arm attachments, and I put those little plastic bungees on because everything on his legs too, because it kind of falls off too easily. And it even comes with, check this out, it's got a hand, and then that slides in here, and it's just designed to be just the right angle to go right into his hand. So that's planning ahead. So now he has his grasper hands, but if you want, you can put this on, and it's like a claw, I guess, or a sensor. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a shield, but I just figure I'll put on the grasper hand. That's pretty cool. And then he can grasp on to whatever this thing is, and maybe he can pretend it's a laser. And this is a battery pack, or I don't know, maybe he has just water in there or something like that, and then that attaches there. And if you'll note, it has all these little holes, so those are other attachments. So if you want to attach other weapons, or I know that they come, there's jet packs and things, so you can make it like it flies. And as usual, what mech would not be happy unless it has some kind of minigun and missile launcher? So you're going to have all that. And if you notice, if you ever saw the movie Pacific Rim, there were giant robots up against monsters coming out of the ocean, and the Russian robot looked like this. It had kind of this look to it in the face, so this looks like that. I think quite a bit, except obviously man size. All right, so I kept thinking, is there a mech that Transformers have? And I thought it all depends on how you define a mech, right? Because is a robot, although they are alive and sentient, the Transformers, is a robot inside a robot suit a mech? And I'm going to say yes. So let's take a look at this here. Now, this deserves its own show, so I am not going to take it all apart. But this is Optimus Prime, movie Optimus Prime, and it might be Dark Side of the Moon, this one, but this is Optimus Prime inside a giant mech suit. Now the suit turns into the back of the truck, and then here is your Optimus Prime, but he can snap out of that. All of this comes off. I don't know how far I want to get with this, taking this apart. But you can see there's his hand, okay? There's his arm, and then that, can go in. This piece here, this Optimus, turns into a truck, the front of the truck, and you can see his wheels and everything, just like every Optimus Prime. But then you can see he's got these giant hands. So he's inside a giant suit. So, these are not his normal size feet. So his feet are, that fell off. But they're up in here. Yeah, they're seated in there. And all this actually does sounds and lights and things. Yeah, we're just going to save that for another show. Oh, also, wait, that's right. He can put on a mask. That's right, this whole thing. Okay, so here's the Optimus Prime maxed out. So this folds back behind him, and then that goes in front, and then he's got this like hyper weapon. All right, so, and he's got like a targeting, you can see like a targeting writing on the clear screen, so he can target. I don't think he's going to miss anything with that. I really think even if he hits in the same neighborhood, it's going to pretty much... And he tells you who he is. So after he blows you away, he tells you he's Optimus Prime. I don't think there's going to be anybody left to talk to after he fires that weapon. And you can attach all these other little weapons to it. So there's all these other attachments you can make, places you can attach different kinds of... There's like a... that one turns into a battle axe. Let me see that there. Let me see. You push a lever. This is the age of the lever-activated weapons. And of course, once again, we have a minigun. See that? You have your rotating machine gun. So what mech is not complete without that? And then these look like satellite dishes, right? They have sort of or solar panels, but they are weapons. They have gears, and let's see, it's been a while since I've played with this. So the way this works is you push on this, and then it extends out. You see the gears in there? So those gears work that, and then it flips up, and then, and then you can turn it and then lock it into its more powerful weapon position. And also you have something here, you can put another weapon on top if you want. So got a lot of weapons here. This one can go either way, so you can have it like an energy weapon there, and you can turn it around, and then you push on that, and then that spins. And then again, like a rotating laser minigun, I would imagine. It's like pop, 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 a bunch of lasers firing out at you. So, all right, so that is this mech show. I will eventually show you another show on mechs. I hope you enjoyed that. Definitely enjoyed sharing that with you. And thank you, and see you later.